Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They find some open field here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety Not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. They'll set up to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
2nd and 10. Keenan here again. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. And with that sack, partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, here's Keenum. Throw left side complete. That's Stone. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And they'll run it here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And now out comes Minnesota. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
On second down, here's Barkley. Oh, spinning away. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The pitch goes to Barkley. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. It's the right side here, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To Barkley on the check down. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase that.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Keenum. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Keenum. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. This is brought in at the 21. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Watch it now, Barney.
A first down carry for Barkley. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. That little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do...
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play.
They got his man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They give him a gain of 38.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Tack McKinley, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk. Come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now Keenum. And it's complete. Hooper. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Daniil Hunter in there to get him again, and that's his 6th sack of the ball game, one off the NFL record of 7.
And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Third and long. It's Keenum. Oh, he's got a little daylight. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun snap for Keenum. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to hold it to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last two drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there for the 7th time in this one game alone. And that will tie him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks in a single NFL game. Now Keenum throwing on second. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Keenum. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive,
and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. In for the score. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Josh Lambo now for the point after.
extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is down to 28-10. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Keenum now on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right.
He's got a man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 50 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
And this is caught at the 8. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the focus of our players' spotlight right now is shining on Case Keenum. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage? Keenum now on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. They can't block him, and now with 8 sacks, he has set a new single-game record.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hip.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He completes it to Julio Jones. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Falcons send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll start by running the option to the right. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
So out come the Falcons now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
After review of the play,
pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will get them one closer. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And going deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, 75 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings, as we say.
You